Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. Here we are for our 214th episode of the Talk That Talk Show, and we are recording here on a Monday night because over the weekend, in our customary Sunday time, we were actually on our way back from a prestigious tournament that we like to enjoy every year. But as far as being here on this show tonight on a Monday night, I always look forward to the Monday night shows because it's not our customary time. So I always feel like the true fans, the real Talk That Talk Show fans, come out here on our unscheduled days on a Monday. So I want to give a big shout out to Antoine Jefferson, who's tuned in on our Facebook live stream. Deontay, who's also tuned in on our Facebook live stream. Also a big time shout out to my boy TK, who actually just won another bowling tournament this weekend. But, first and foremost, I wanted to start out and really just thank TK and Tori for the amount of work that they have been putting in on the lanes. Starting bowling is not an easy task, and really what they've done is just really just taken a passion, taken something that has been fun for us for a lot of times, and now taking it to the competitive level. And I think that, with them having success each and every time as they go up the rung, they're starting to feel that confidence. And I think that that's the main thing that separates the mushes in the world from the guys that are just starting out, is the fact that these guys bleed and ooze confidence no matter if they throw a split or if they throw a spare. And I think that, from practicing with TK, from, seeing my sister putting the work in, seeing how they're performing at league nights and taking the next step, those are the type of things that you look for when you want teammates and when you're looking for people that you want to compete with. So again, for them to take home another not championship, but another tournament win, it just speaks to volumes to the amount of work that you put in. So as long as you continue to work, I know we're equating this to bowling, but if you talk about anything, if you put the work in, you put your mind to something, you will get the results that you're looking for. And on the flip side of things, I think that the toughest thing, and one of the things that is important as far as getting to that next step, and you heard me mention it so many times, is goal setting. And I think that for Tori and TK, they're people that are constantly motivated to go to the next step and to achieve those goals. And I think that that's something that's been instilled in our entire family for long times, of just grinding and getting out the mud. So for me, part of the thing that I had, dealing with the accident and dealing with, just trying to get 100% healthy, getting discharged from, chiropractic, therapy, and now I'm down to, 2 days a week of, acupuncture. They're telling me I can start to, increase the activity a little bit more. So I'm going out there, getting some competition in there. And, one of the things that I was able to do was, take a step and go out to the Bologna tournament with my brother, with my father, and a lot of the family members like we normally do every year. And, one of the things that we always look forward to is trying to get Bologna. And that means you have to get 6 strikes in a row. And I didn't even know this, but my father was somebody that was never gotten Bologna before. Me neither. But, my brother, who's been putting in the work, he had a game plan and said that he wanted to go out there and achieve this goal. And part of the reason why I do look up to my brother is that anytime he says that he wants to accomplish something, he puts his all into it to try and accomplish that goal. And what my brother did, he said, I'm not drinking, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to stay focused, and I'm going to try and get this Bologna. And for those people that don't know, at the Bologna tournament, when you get up to your 6th shot, everybody yells, meat, meat, meat. So it can be, very paused, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. And sometimes you'll get people that go up there and they choke, So, unfortunately for me, I've never gotten the chance to get to the 6 in a row to get a chance to get a meet. So coming into this weekend, that was a goal that I had. And, put everything that I had into it. I tried to go out there, and I had a really great first game with a 242. Finished that first team set with my first 600 at a Bologna tournament ever. Wound up shooting 609. So I was really happy with that, but didn't get the Bologna. And really, the next two sets, or the next set after that, was a struggle for me. And I wound up, I think, finishing like 477 or something crazy like that. But, the one thing my father said he was proud of is the fact that through adversity, through frustration, I continued to try and find a way, continue to try and fight and get through things. And I think that, if you're going to be a competitor, if you're going to be someone that tries to be better in anything that you do every day, you got to be able to take the failure. And, the tough thing was going out there and having a goal, and then at the end of the set realizing, damn, I didn't get Bologna, but still being happy for my friend Timothy Hugel, who gets the Bologna. Happy for my boy Scott Frangione, who gets the Bologna. Happy for my brother, who got the Bologna. My boy Cecil, who got the Bologna. So it was funny because Tim actually commented, we were geeking out because anytime it seemed like our zone, a lot of people were getting the meat. Shout out to Angie too, who got Bologna.
Keith Knight.
But we were saying meat row. So Tim goes meat row coming 2024. So I think that, again, me potentially trying to go out there to hit this goal, achieve this goal, and then not achieving it, I could have been upset with myself. I could have been down on myself. I was frustrated with myself, and I think that one of the things that's tough is that when you put in the work and, you see other people succeeding around you and getting the results, when you look at yourself and you look at the production, you're like, damn, I really wanted to get that, but I didn't get that opportunity. It just makes you look within and think, how can I change? How can I, move things around? How can we maneuver to make sure we get that? And I think that, being around great people like my father, great people like Tim, my brother, even Eric, who asked me to go practice with them, the people that put you in situations to try and get better are the people that you constantly want around you. And I think for me, to be able to then, the following day after, today, after not having the best of luck at Bologna, after that one great set that I had, I got an opportunity. We had my boy Jeff, who we're going to be going with in July, hopefully. He reached out to me. He was like, hey, my son needs a sub for his adult child league, and they got a sport pattern out there. So you want to get some reps? I could have easily been down on myself like, damn, I shot 477 yesterday. I'm trash. I don't know. Woe is me. And just feeling like the worst person in the world. Or you can stop feeling sorry for yourself and go make something happen. And that's what I tried to do today, was just, go back in the lab. One of the things my dad said to me yesterday when I was, a little down in the dumps, upset with myself because, when you have that decent set, when you had 609, I'm like, damn, I shot decent. You don't think about that after you shot, 477. You don't go out here celebrating that, right? You don't think about that because, like my dad says, you're only as good as your last game, and people don't only remember what you did that last game. So, I really did not like the taste that was in my mouth. And pause. But one of the things that Dad said to me, he was like, yo, just got to get back on the lab. And he patted me on the back. And, I might not like that. I remember there was one time when I was a kid, and I think I missed like a spare or something like that, and I was so pissed. My dad came up to me, he was like, it's all right. So I was like, don't touch me. And it's like one of our funnier moments, but like, the growth from me to be able to, not be upset like that, but to go right back in the lab, I think that that's something that we can all take away. And sure, maybe on the sport pattern today I struggled, but I worked on some things and worked on my game so that when it comes down to those money frames tomorrow where we have a great shot, it feels good, and then constantly trying to put yourself and implement yourself into tournaments. We had the UBA, Unholy slots that really sell out super quick. And we were able to get 2 slots, get to bowl with my dad, get to bowl with Hall of Famer David Lee, and the fact that these people want to bowl with me. I think it's awesome because in the sport of bowling, oftentimes when you're starting out, you got to bowl with people because you have to, because you don't have an opportunity, because you don't have an option. You're just trying to get reps. But I feel like, the way I've carried myself, the way I've put myself out there, the way my dad has encouraged me not to be a house bowler, I've been able to get and garner the respect of people, not just within my friend group, but outside of that friend group, to where people are giving me these opportunities to get better. People want to bowl with me. People want to spend time outside of the lanes with me. And I think that again speaks to our performance as well too. When you're feeling relaxed and you're feeling better and you're with these good people, you start to see those production go well. I mean, you look at somebody like a Vinny Booker, who, when we remember his growth when he first started bowling with us on our Tuesday night league, and he was, I think a 150, 160 average, to where he's going out and now he shot his first 300. Congratulations to Vinny Booker, man. But again, it's about keeping the right people around you and giving yourself opportunities. I mean, you talk about my boy TK, who literally just started, and he's going out driving to Scranton, PA to go win a tournament, not just bowling it, to go win a tournament, So the more things that you put yourself into, the more you network with people and just put yourself out there, you're going to get more opportunities to do different things. And, one of the things that, I talked before with one of my friends about was just like the amount of opportunities that get put before us that we don't take advantage of, right? Someone can say, hey, I want to do this with you, I want to do this with you, but when you keep saying no, 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 how inclined are you to do it, right? But if you have that person that, you're willing to go experience with, part of the reason why I love Doc, and part of the reason why she's one of the girlfriends that, I've been able to not get bored with, not get tired of sometimes. But what I will say is that, she's someone that always pushes me to try and do different things, experience different things, and not only experience them, but experience them together, and I think that, in trying to do different things, you find out more about who you are, what you like to do, what are the things that make you who you are, So in failure, and in goal setting, these are the most important things that help to put you on that pathway, to put you in the right directions, to make sure that when you get those opportunities in front of you, you make the most of it, man. So, I'm excited, man. I think that, having, success, seeing that I was able to accomplish something after, months and, days of rehab and just trying to get back to not only physical, but, mental health as well, too, man. I think that a lot of times people struggle in their jobs, in their careers, in life, in bowling, in sports, all because of mental fatigue. Our body can be tired, but if you don't give your mind, that reaffirmation, give your mind that the nourishment that it needs, the rest, you can't do anything without a sound mind. So, I just think that, in closing, with everything that has happened throughout this weekend, as far as competing, as far as, achieving, as far as failure, all of that combines together to create success. And that's just something that we're constantly trying to build towards. I had brunch with my boy Kenny Lou today. Big shout out to Kenny Lou. And here's a guy who dropped countless hats. He's had hats that he's made resell for $500. I mean, come on. When you have a platform like that, oftentimes you can get full of yourself. But one of the things that Kenny Lou has never done has gotten full of himself. He stays humble and stays hungry. All right. I forget who it was back in the day. It was one of my basketball coaches, but I'll never forget it. But I remember them always saying, stay humble and stay hungry. Because the one day that you're not hungry, the one day that you're not putting in that work, the one day that you're not trying to get better, somebody else is out there pedaling behind you, and I've seen it. We got Tori, who, is very, competitive, And I've seen, TK motivate her because he's pedaling hard. She wants to pedal just as hard with him. So I think that, and again, with my girlfriend, with, me trying to go out there and push her to, let's exercise, let's do things like that. It kind of, again, bolsters us to try and go in that right direction. So, you got to have the right people around you, and you got to make sure that you hold yourself accountable. Because if you're not putting in the work, then you can't complain about the results. So I'm happy that, as soon as, yesterday got done with that, we're right back into the next opportunity to try and get better, and then moving forward past that, I remember, my job had just finished. I just finished up with the job at the high school, had a great job influencing the students at the high school. And when I recapped the year, out of all the years that I've worked at a school, whether it was schools in New York, 5 or 6 years I spent in Newark, I really did enjoy working at this school, North Plainfield High School, over the past year, man. I just feel like the relationships that I built, the influence that I established within the school, it's everything that I could have wanted in a position. And I feel like, a lot of times, people work these meaningless positions to where, you're almost like an NPC. You're just going through the motions and you don't really have no individuality within you. And to be able to be myself and then also direct students to be on the same path and hopefully be better than me someday, that's the type of shit that I live for. I mean, right after I finished up, with a little practice league today, one of the guys, Tony, came up to me with an opportunity. He said, hey, Debbie asked me, and she's like, she wants you to help coach some of the kids on Fridays. And for me, someone who I don't view myself as the best bowler, but if you have someone that, a bowling center, one of the biggest in the entire East Coast, that wants you to come help teach their youth to then get better, I mean, that's all you can ask for as far as trying to help the next generation get better. And, that's something that I won't take lightly. So now I was very happy to have someone come up to me like that and say, hey, we want you to help coach our kids at the bowling center. And I'm not going to be there every Friday. I definitely want to still do things on my Friday, but I can dedicate at least one or two, in the month, or one or two every other month or something. Because at the end of the day, if we're not out there trying to help, trying people to get better. My dad always says he's not the best teacher, but he still goes out and gives you intangible, teachable things that can help you. And what he does, and he does it without, sometimes people asking him, and I think that that's the type of helping people that we are. But, when you help people out and you do it with a genuine heart, 9 times out of 10, good things will happen to you in return. So I'm just happy with, the way things kind of happened, how they played out this weekend. I'm happy with the way that I'm starting to try and get myself mentally out of that mental fatigue and, feeling better physically. I was trying to tell Doc, after the injections, I've had the most range of movement in my neck in a long time. And it just, just makes you feel better. The sleep, still have some issues sleeping sometimes with the PTSD and sometimes just being able to not feel stiff as much. But, I feel like, I actually watched something. And it was this video on TikTok or Facebook, Instagram, whatever the reels were. But this guy, he put this container in and he filled it with golf balls. And he's like, is this filled yet? And they're like, yeah. But then he put in a couple more rocks in there and he's able to fill up the container a little bit more. And he goes, is it done yet now? And they're like, no. And then he's able to fill in some sand and everything like that. And really what he said was, if you put all the sand in the container first, then you're not able to fit the golf balls or you're not able to fit the rocks, right? Those golf balls that we put in the container, those are the things that are most important to us, right? Our family members, our passions, who we are as people, our core values. The rocks, those are the little things that we like to do, the little passions that help us fill throughout the day. And then the sand is the little shit, all the little other stuff that helps fill out the day and, kind of build out that week, build out that life. So it's like when you have your priorities straight And when you're able to, implement and put the right things in place, that container can be really full, right? But if you don't, if you, put yourself and put your mind on all that little shit, all that sand that kind of fills in between the cracks, then you're not able to put your mind towards those passions, put that mind towards yourself, put that energy towards getting better. And I just feel like, within the last couple months, last couple weeks, I've just been put in a position where, the people around me have helped me to be the better version of myself. And that's all that you can ask for. And I'm just happy about it, man. And, I think that moving past that, I think one of the things that was huge as far as the thing that I was not happy with, and we're talking about growth within myself, I am not happy with the growth that I'm seeing from the New York Metropolitans. And I tell you what, me, Ish, Tyree, we've talked about this countless times, and I'm only going to say this one time. The New York Mets are terrible because of our relief pitching. It's a literally a downward slippery slope to where you have starting pitchers out there that are pitching well, giving you quality starts, but when it comes down to when they're out of the game and it's time to put that relief pitcher in there, we're giving up runs. We're not finishing games. It's so bad that we gave the Phillies a series win for the first time since 2021. That is embarrassing, right? So, again, I just want to see some type of movements. I know that Cohen said, don't look towards any movements because we're staying with the people that we have. But it's almost insanity to think that you can stick with the same shit and expect different results. Ish says relievers are literal batting practice. Once Justin and Max come out, we become terrible. And it's true. You talk about that guy Walker, was the rookie that they brought up. This guy hasn't even gotten a full inning in because he can't get outs. When you walk batters, it is a death sentence. They always talk about those leadoff walks come to bite you back, right? And the other thing that I have to say with the relief pitching is that it's merely just a strike thing, man. I think that these guys are coming out there pressing, trying to be perfect, and not trusting their stuff. And unfortunately, it's leading to some lost games. And for me, I've noticed that the Mets pitchers are definitely they're stretching themselves a little bit more now. They're pressing when they're up at the plate. I can't remember Jeff McNeil swinging at all this junk before, but that's where we are at this stage in the game for the Mets. And unless they find a way to get that relief pitching to be a little bit more consistent and to put these games away, you're going to see the Mets hitters continue to struggle because they're pressing, and you're going to continue to see the Mets lose games. I would dare to say that they're not even going to be competitive for a wild card team because of the fact that they can't close out games. And we've seen it time and time again, especially in the postseason. If you don't have somebody to shut down the game in those 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th innings, right? You break the game into half. You have that first 5, and then you have that last 4. If you don't have some good pitchers in that last 4, you're not going to compete for a pennant race, and you're damn sure ain't going to compete for a World Series title. So, I just have to see what the Mets, if they have anybody, if they have any type of guy in the farm system, at this point we could use anybody. My brother brought up a great point. He said, should you trade Tommy Pham to try and get some relief pitching? But unfortunately, I feel like for Tommy Pham, we're going to get some low tier, maybe AA, potentially AAA prospects. And we need guys that can help us right now. We cannot accept any more projects. So, as a Mets fan, it is tough. It's tough to go out there and watch this team play when in the 7th and 8th inning it's over. Ish says our bats are solid. Main thing is pitching. We need relievers if we want to at least have a chance for the wild card. Yeah, I agree, Ish. I do. And, when you look at it, too, I think that a lot of times what the Mets have struggled with is problem solving. And, that's one of the things that I've, tried to do with myself. My summer's job is about to start, has not started yet. The school job is ended. So there's a little bit of gap in between, the payment and what's going to happen for me. How am I going to get a little bit of money here? What's going to happen? So, I started to look around and kind of think, how can I, pick up a quick little side hustle? What can I do to make a little bit of extra money? And you wouldn't believe it, but I started doing today, picked up my first job, but I did a little Uber Eats. Guys, if you're looking for an extra little bit of income, nobody says you gotta, kill yourself over this. But if you have a little bit of extra time, extra 30, 40 minutes, why not put that little work in, pick up that order? All I had to do, I went to the store. They gave me the order. I put it in my car. I dropped it off right at the front door. Took the picture, and it was in my car on the way to bowling. It was that simple. And to think that you can make yourself a little bit of disposable income, it's not a bad option. And I think that, for a lot of people, I think that they deter themselves from trying out these things, or because of the experiences someone else may have had with it. But me, I'm someone that I like to try things for myself. And I think that it's not a bad option, to be able to put it out, maybe do a couple orders a day. Ish talked about, we got a Vegas trip coming up. I think that that's something that I'm going to want to have a little bit of disposable income for, to have a good time. And to be able to go out there, with a little bit of money in your pocket. I'll do a little bit of Uber Eats. Fuck it, I'll do it. I did it today. And it was that simple. TK says, I used to DoorDash. Low-key, easy money. Makes you appreciate delivery drivers, too. Tip your drivers. Yes, that's true. And low-key, as soon as the order went out, I got out the door. It was funny because Doc got mad. He said, what are you rushing for? I was like, I'm trying to get this check. Let's get out here. Get in the car. Let's go. Why are you moving like that? So it was a little silent ride for the first 5 minutes. But we got to the Jacif, and we got there super quick. And then I got to that place, and I think it was less than 5 or 6 minutes before the estimated time. And they tipped me pretty well. So like Ish said, and like TK said, you do the job, and you get some tips. That's a little bit of disposable income that I could use for sure. So for those people out there, if you're looking for a little bit of disposable income, it's super easy. I don't have to do a bunch of equations. I don't have to do nothing too out of the realms. I don't have to put on a suit and tie. All I have to do is go out of my car, grab this little bit of food, put it in the car, drop it off, and it's simple like that. So when you put those opportunities out there, when you seek these things, sometimes it can be a little bit easier than you think. But, I'm just happy that, for the time being, I was a little bit worried about what could happen in that gap. And I problem solved it. And I'm not saying I may have figured out the answer 100%. But when you problem solve and you give yourself an opportunity and you continue to work, then you have some opportunities for yourself, and you can start to see give yourself some successful pathways, and you can start to make those steps in the right direction. So, like I said, I'm just happy to continuously be a problem solver. I'm happy to continuously be an organizer. I'm happy to continuously be myself, and people want to spend time with me, and they want to do things with me, and I'm going to continue to be the best version of myself, so that anything that I can do will be a great time, and I'll have a great time with great people. So that is all for the Talk That Talk show. I wish that the Mets would be better, but we just got to hope for them to make some great moves and go in the right direction. But before I hop off the air here, I want to make a big time apology, all right? A big time apology. Last week, and maybe the weeks prior, I talked about the WNBA, and I referred to these women as girls. I referred to them, I said, these girls can play. These girls are tough. And that's part of my growth. Everybody can make mistakes. It's just about what you do to correct them. And I was just so enthused about what I was watching, I didn't even think about what I was saying. These are grown-ass women. And, to call them girls, you don't hear about the NBA. I don't call them the boys. Those are grown-ass men. So in the same regard, the WNBA are for women. Those women can play. So anybody talking about the WNBA, just make sure that you refer to them as women. All right? I looked back at the footage and I was cringing at myself because even though I was trying to give them the acclaim that they deserve, I was in a way disrespecting them because they are not girls. They are women. So, for anyone in women's sports, whether you play women's soccer, women's volleyball, anything professional, those ladies are women. All right? So, we're taking girls out of the vocabulary. Anytime you hear me talking about WNBA or women's professional sports, you'll be hearing me referring to them as women. So thank you to the WNBA for what you're doing. Thank you to women out there for competing at a high level, because I do enjoy your sport. And I think a lot of people out there are starting to enjoy it more as well, too. So in closing, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for tuning into the Talk That Talk show on a Monday. Big shout out to my boy Jeff Farrell for making our Discord booming. The Talk That Talk show betting Discord is going crazy bonkers. He gave our boy Dr. Glex Mashers his entire tab now. So, he's been taking advantage of that, making some good bets. So, when you, like I said, when you have the right people around you, when you're organizing things and you're putting things in motion, success will happen, man. So I got the right people on my team, man, and I'm appreciative of that. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for rocking out with me each and every week. Even though we're rocking out on a Monday, it means the world to me. And also, if you're looking at this jersey, this one was designed by my sister. This is the Talk That Talk summertime jersey. A lot of good feedback from people about the GTA themed jersey. Hey, who knows? Maybe I'll talk to my sister and see if we can maybe make this potentially into a little bit of a hoodie. Who knows? I don't know. You got to stick working with me, man, because at Talk That Talk show, you never know what's going to happen, right? Love you all, and I will see you all next week.